Chapter 13. How can you become better than your competition? Well, firstly, you don't necessarily need to be the best to do well. For example, someone else may be more skilled, experienced, or knowledgeable than you, but you may be able to deliver things in a more likable or relatable way. And like we learned earlier, in the content game, it is often not the best, but the most consistent and relentless that win. So don't worry too much about being the best, but rather aim to be the best that you can be today. So we've covered the section about looking inward and seeing what you're into. Now we need to look outward and analyze what the rest of the market is up to. Find the most relevant creators that create content around your niche. Analyze what's working for them and what you think isn't. Go deeper. Look at Google Trends, social media reports, keyword searches, and social listening to find out what audiences are talking about when it comes to your specific subject. What you're trying to end up with is a map of the world you're in. Okay, let's get started. Now, we've all heard the term gap in the market, but what actually is a gap in the market? And more importantly, how can you find one? A gap in the market would be where competition doesn't exist. And when people find these gaps in the market, often there's a massive opportunity there for them to capitalize by getting there first. Now, there's actually a very cool technique that can help you to find a gap in the market, and it is called the market matrix. This is the framework that you use to find a gap in the market if there is one there. So we're going to start by drawing a vertical line and a horizontal line. So we need a topic or a subject. So just for this example, we're going to use food as an example. So let's just say your interest is food. So once you've got that, then we now need to plot the matrix. Let's just say we've got high quality. On the other end of the spectrum, low quality. Then on this line, we're going to put entertainment. And then down here, we're going to go informative. Okay, so we've got a basic framework for our matrix here. We've got entertainment, informative, high quality, low quality. So low quality food, high quality food, informative food content, entertaining food content. I know what you're thinking. All right, Jez, but how is this going to help me to find a gap in the market? Well, what you want to do is you want to actually go onto social media, search in this area or niche, and start watching videos. See what's performing well and see what's out there. What is there a lot of, and where would it sit on this matrix? So say you go on social media and you're seeing a lot of videos which are based on high quality food and they're pretty entertaining, more so than informative. Then you'd start maybe plotting out clusters here. Every video is obviously different, so they're not going to be exactly the same. The opposite of a gap is pretty much a cluster. So there wouldn't be a gap in the market there. You just keep plotting it out. And if you do it for long enough, you'll start to fill out this matrix. And once it starts filling out, you should start to see areas that are more spacious than others. So we can see that the matrix has been filled out enough for us to start identifying where there may be some gaps. And as you can see, there are no dots in this area here, which would be entertaining content based around low quality food. So what we might have here is a gap in the market. So then you start looking at how can you fill that gap. Maybe it would be reviewing fast food from a local market in an entertaining way, or perhaps content where you're putting together home meals on a really tight budget. There are many different routes you could go down, but the market matrix can be an effective way for you to identify gaps in the market. So that was the matrix. Next step is to plot your research across the matrix. Place your competition and market across it. With the takeout example, some may be all the way on one side, i.e. talking about high quality food. Some might tick all four and end up smack in the middle. The end goal of this exercise is to spot the gap, to work out what your angle is going to be. In this example, you might want to switch things up and go for more affordable food, but focus more on the cuisine side, aka trying to find the most banging street food out there. Even if you don't feel like a fresh angle is there to find, that's cool. This gives you the opportunity to work out how your content could be better than the rest, funnier, more entertaining, more emotive, and more engaging. This works for any category. You just need to spend time researching and plotting the matrix.